Today, I'm diving into the essential topic of building leadership teams and the pivotal role that teacher leaders play in creating a stronger school community. As a teacher and a leader yourself, you understand the importance of collaboration and a shared vision in achieving success. Today, we're going to discuss actionable strategies that empower you and your peers and cultivate an environment where every educator feels valued and equipped to lead. Let's get started. Hi, friend. Are you ready to move into a leadership position? Do you have interests and ambitions that you want to pursue, but feel like you don't know how to take that next step? Maybe you want to start your own coaching or consulting agency. I'm Mel, and I help educators define their career path through correct mindset, knowing your options, and getting prepared for your career transition. I will show you how to level up your leadership skills, share your expertise in a new way, create impact on a larger scale, and put your leadership in motion. As an educator for over 20 years, I started to feel underused and like I had more to give. I knew when the time had come for me to leave the classroom and affect change on a larger level. Now, I'm ready to help you determine where your talents and skills mesh with your passions and interests, put your leadership in motion, and move into that next phase of your educational career journey. Let me help you define your career path by having the right mindset, knowing your options, and getting prepared for that next leadership position. So power up and put your leadership in motion. Welcome to Empowered Educator. I'm your host, Dr. Mel. So what does it mean to empower teacher leaders? And why is it crucial for our schools? Empowering teacher leaders is about recognizing the wealth of expertise and the passion that exists within your faculty and harnessing that power to foster a really thriving educational community. When teachers take on leadership roles, they not only contribute to their own professional development, but they also inspire their colleagues and they elevate the entire school culture. Today, we're going to explore some key strategies that will help you build effective leadership teams and empower your fellow educators. The first thing I want to talk about is how to identify and then cultivate those teacher leaders within your building. First, you're going to identify teachers who exhibit qualities of leadership. You know, those natural born leaders, those who inspire others. They take initiative and they're deeply committed to the student learning in the building. And not just student learning, but also adult learning within the building. You want to look for individuals who engage positively with their peers and that demonstrate a willingness to be innovative. And believe it or not, you have more people in your building that are like this than you actually think you might. And you may be one of them yourself. If you're not already in a leadership position and you're an aspiring building principal or building leader, you may be this person. So when you find these leaders, offer some tailored professional development opportunities that focus specifically on those leadership skills that you want to cultivate in that person or those people, such as maybe conflict resolution or effective communication and strategic planning. That's always something that can be cultivated in the leaders in your building. Actually, strategic planning should be cultivated in everybody in your building, not just the leaders. And then consider establishing some kind of mentorship program where those experienced leaders in your building can guide those emerging leaders. So all of that responsibility doesn't just fall on you. They can provide them with the support that they need to grow as those leaders. The second thing is to involve those teacher leaders that you've identified in helping to develop that shared vision and mission, which is part of that strategic planning. This is going to help them take ownership and be committed. Host some collaborative workshops where the faculty in your building can brainstorm and then articulate a vision that resonates with their collective values and the needs of the students. Work together as a group. When one of the schools that I worked for in the past was rebranding, we came up as a collective leadership group with the new mission, vision, and we all got to take part in that. And it was a great experience because we all were able to really take ownership of everything that was happening with the rebranding. Just make sure that your shared vision and mission for your building align with your district goals, and then prioritize student outcomes. When teachers feel like they're active participants in shaping your school's direction, they're going to be way more motivated to work toward that vision. This is going to lead to a greater building culture because there's going to be improved morale. And then there's going to, in turn, be greater student achievement because your teachers are invested. They feel like they have a purpose. One thing that I got better at as I became a more seasoned leader was delegating responsibilities. So this is number 3. When I first became a principal, I felt like I needed to be the person who did everything. I needed to know everything. I needed to be the leader. And that wore me out. It was not sustainable. So I started to really recognize that teacher talent in my building. And I started empowering those teachers to be leaders. And this was more than just recognizing them as teacher leaders. This was really giving them that sense of responsibility and maybe just like a little bit of authority. Delegate those specific roles that allow them to lead those initiatives in things like curriculum development or some school-wide programs or mentoring new teachers. You have some talented teachers who can mentor those new teachers. And new teachers have to have a mentor in the state of Missouri anyway. I'm not sure about other states. Use that talent in your building. When you delegate those responsibilities to the teacher leaders in your building, it not only enhances their leadership skills, but it also alleviates some of that burden that you might have to carry, which is what I was talking about. I had too much on my plate because I didn't share responsibilities. And like I've said before, you have some very talented, very smart people in your midst. Use them, leverage their knowledge so you have a creative and collaborative environment where everybody gets to contribute. All voices are heard. But you have to clearly define those expectations and then provide that necessary training or those resources to ensure that they can succeed in the roles that you've delegated to them. Let your teachers lead professional development. I've already talked about them being mentors, but when you do those things, when you let them be mentors, when you let them lead professional development, when you let them lead initiatives, make sure that you are regularly checking in and you have some feedback sessions. You're giving feedback, but you're also receiving feedback, which is going to help them navigate any challenges that they might come across. But it also gives you an opportunity to celebrate their successes. And ultimately, as the building leader, you are responsible for what happens in your building. So you need to be doing that regular check-in so you know what's happening. And you can answer questions when you're asked questions by your superintendent or your assistant superintendent or your school board. Number 4 would be to encourage some collaboration and some communication. When you foster a culture of collaboration among your teacher leaders by creating those regular opportunities for them to meet, like PLC time, where they can share those ideas and they can discuss challenges, and then maybe get some of their own questions answered, it's a great opportunity for them, and they need that time. When you provide a space and you promote that open dialogue and the teamwork for your teacher leaders, you're going to create an environment where innovative ideas can flourish because, again, every voice is heard and every perspective gets to be put out there. And there are some great perspectives that you might not have thought about and others in your teacher leader groups may not have thought about either. But once they get to share that space and talk to each other, they really start to depend on that collaborative learning with each other, which promotes a very forward-thinking school community. And you want to recognize and celebrate success with all of your teachers, with everyone in your building, because everybody has some embedded leadership skills, whether they are really seeking to be a leader, a building leader, and grow into that kind of role or not, they still exhibit those leadership roles in some areas. So make sure that you recognize that. Recognition plays a really significant role in motivating your teachers and especially your teacher leaders. Implement some kind of system where you can celebrate their achievements, whether it's formal recognition, maybe at like a staff meeting or some shout outs in the newsletter or some awards for exemplary contributions. We have student awards every quarter. Let's add some teacher awards to that. Teachers work hard every quarter too. Let's recognize that. And students need to be able to recognize and celebrate the successes of their teachers as well. When you highlight and you celebrate those successes, it not only boosts their morale, but it also serves as an inspiration to the others who are maybe new or less seasoned and they want to aspire to be a teacher leader. And it really helps to showcase the things that are being done within your building. Not everybody knows everything that's going on in the building. And this is a great way to show the hard work that someone has put in for some kind of initiative or program that you're starting. And lastly, you're going to want to evaluate and then refine those teacher leader initiatives. Continuous improvement is vital for any leadership team. So regularly assess the effectiveness of your leadership initiatives by soliciting that feedback from your teachers, the ones who are actually doing the work. And then also your faculty that maybe aren't necessarily your teacher leaders, but they're important. Their feedback is important as well. You have teachers in your building that just want to teach. They want to come, they want to teach their kids, they want to go home at night. They don't necessarily want to take on any leadership roles, but they have great feedback. They can give you some great valuable data. Use some surveys, some focus groups, or maybe some informal discussions to gather those insights about what's working well, and then also what could be improved upon. And then based on that feedback, make those necessary adjustments to ensure that your leadership team remains responsive to all of the evolving needs of your school building. When you commit to some kind of evaluation and refinement process, that's going to demonstrate to the teachers in your building that you are dedicated to their growth and their excellence, not just the growth of the students and the excellence of the students in your building. Guys, in the end, empowering your teacher leaders, it's not just about enhancing their individual careers. It's about cultivating a vibrant and collaborative school culture where everyone can thrive. When you implement all of the strategies that I listed, like identifying your leaders, creating a shared vision, delegating responsibilities, providing support, encouraging collaboration, recognizing success, and then committing to evaluation and refinement, you're going to lay the groundwork for a very strong school community where everyone's happy. You have happy students, happy teachers, and you're going to see some longevity with the faculty and staff within your building. So I'm going to give you an action step. As your call to action today, I want you to identify at least one teacher within your network who has demonstrated leadership potential. I want you to reach out to them with an invitation to join a leadership initiative or a mentorship program. Together, I want you to outline a plan for their development, and that includes the specific goals and the opportunities for their growth. This tiny, small step can have a significant impact on both their professional journey and the overall school community, because sometimes your teacher leaders don't realize that they are leaders and they just need you to tell them you have leadership ability. Let's see how we can grow that and cultivate that so you can be the leader that you were meant to be, so that you can reach your God-defined potential and purpose that He has set for you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. And if you found value in this episode, would you share it with a colleague? Because when you share with your colleagues and they listen, it helps me to grow the show. Together, we can create educational environments where every teacher feels valued and empowered to make a lasting impact. Remember that your leadership journey starts today, so make it count.